It's that time of year again.
Time to start using hand lotion.
Christmas time, and this year my stocking is filled with kukris due to a visit from Santa Lynn. Instead of milk and cookies, you leave him a tray of loose ammo. Any round will do. Okay, that's not true. I mean, Lynn's always down for some extra rounds, if you have any. Sometimes he drops them when he's showing off his guns. So Dave from Knife Nuts Podcast sent me one. You listen to the podcast, right? That's why you're on Santa Lynn's nice list. I mean, he does see the naughty stuff too, because, that's kind of his thing. And the other one was sent to me by a guy named Kirk. Both are a little different. Both made by Santa's elves working for Himalayan Imports Kukris. Okay, they're not elves. They're called camis. Not anything like elves, they're just dudes. They have a sub-forum over at Blade Forums where they post handmade kukris to buy and donate to a YouTube channel years later. They also have a website I'll link to. They range from $40 from blemish models and up before shipping. I think these were above 100, so 100 to 150, which most of the good ones are. But before we do any of that, let's look at the dimensions, like the overall lengths and weights, with and without the sheaths. You may be wondering where the blue lines went. Well, a few of you have been real shits this year, so I took them away. It hurts me more than it hurts you. Blade size and cutting edges. Santa was watching. He saw too little of the good kind of naughty and a whole lot of the bad kind of naughty. It's not creepy, dude. His job is to watch. Handle size and grip area. In the old days, he'd hide in a closet and sneak a peek. Nowadays, he just hacks into the camera on your phone or computer, like the government. Spine thickness and handle thicknesses. However he does it legally, he has to run it by the CISA court first. Tallnesses. You can make up for the horrible human being you've been this year by watching all of the videos, the beer ones twice. Not as many beer reviews lately. Sorry, don't worry. I've still been drinking. Plan on doing some more soon. People have been sending me beers and I getting them backed up on my refrigerator. Don't like to have a lot of beer in my fridge that's not drank. Okay, Himalayan Import Kukris. First off, it's really great to see the word Himalayan. It's one I've heard in real life. While I mispronounce things a lot, I don't feel an ounce of shame. I have a simple phonetic last name with only 6 letters that native English speakers have been misspelling my entire life. So if I can spread around some misery, well, isn't that what Christmas is all about? Now, these are handmade blades, so no two are exactly alike. And if they ever are, well, they've switched to robots, so I'd worry. So since there's something usually wrong in my dimensions, it won't matter much anyway. Since I first bought my BudK Kukri years ago, you remember that review, they have become my favorite chopping instruments, even more than gross old axes. They have heavy curved blades shorter than you may want for a machete, but longer than a hand axe. So that means exactly the right amount for neighbors to stare. Despite having curved blades sort of like relatively useless karambits.
What about self-defense, bro?
They work well for chopping woody branches, limbs, and logs. The shinier of their two is one of their more popular models, the, here we go, Ang Khola. Ang Khola. This one is slightly shorter than the one Dave sent me, which he called one of their one-offs called a Deradune. Can't look that one up anymore, I tried. Would it surprise you the longer one is my favorite? So basically the Kukri blade isn't a replacement for a machete or axe, but an effective combination of both. Here's a chart on Himalayan Imports website that shows you how to measure the kukris as the bat flies. The grind is a convex, which works well for chopping. Oh yeah, gotta talk about this thing here. It's called the Cho. Probably saying that wrong. It's probably like the Hua. But the Himalayan Imports website says it's ceremonial or traditional or some shit. It may be also called a blood drip, which, if it's anything like calling a fuller a blood groove, at least 3 assholes have already shown up below the comments lamenting all of the other assholes who called it a blood drip. According to various people though, okay, just mainly the website, it symbolizes either the clitoris of the Kali or the penis of the Shiva. So that's something to talk about. The handles both here are of different designs and made from different materials. My favorite of the two is the buffalo horn handle. I know the handle rings are the hallmark of the kukri, but on my wood-handled one, the rings are not only the wood scales, but also the tang, so they're edgy, and as I chopped, my tender yet dry hands became sore around the ring area. The solution would be to just do some damn work for a change and toughen those hands up, wear gloves, sand it down a bit, or just continue to complain. So call me a young whippersnapper, but the larger or smoother or the not there style of rings are the best. Both handles fit my hand well. The flared butt cap keeps the blade from flying out of your hand when whacking. If you remember anything in this review, it's butt hands whacking. The sheaths. Like most kukris, you get a sheath that has wood or sometimes cardboard core, depending on how cheap they are, with a water buffalo or whatever they have leather laying around for the covering. These are water buffalo, I'm pretty sure. Not a leather expert. And they have two little utility blades up top. One is a small knife and the other is a sharpening steel. My BudK, however, just came with two sharpening steels because BudK. Sheaths are nice, but they ride kinda high, so since the blade is heavy, they will flop around a bit. My favorite kukri sheath is, you guessed it, because I can't shut up about it, my zombie tools, which while isn't traditional, it's functional because the handle butt rides lower and attaches to the leg. So the sheath doesn't really move much when walking, skipping, jumping jacks, or practicing karate in the backyard. And it's a fairly easy draw too. Comparisons, first the Himalayan Imports. Remember, of the two, I prefer the longer blade of the buffalo handle one, as well as the less ringy handle. The Ang Khola is probably the nicer looking of the two because it's shiny. Shiny being a good metric on whether a knife is worth a shit. It's lighter and shorter, and some out there may prefer that. Now the zombie Tools Vakra. This one has a thinner blade stock and is overall longer than the bone-handled one. One might say there's a bit more chopping power in the horn-handled one because of the thicker stock, but I think they're kind of similar. From the sheath perspective, the handle perspective, the zombie in the name perspective, and just better chopping experience, the zombie tools is still my favorite yard instrument, even though it's not traditional. It costs about $270 though, which should be fine since you're saving your rent money by rooming with your parents right now. So you can film videos of you swinging it in your bedroom. How about the $20 BudK, my original chopper? I've had this according to my Amazon account since July 10th, 2012. The blade has been dinged, beat up, but it's still very usable. There's no doubt the Himalayan Imports are much nicer overall. And also the BudK may have hidden breaks in the tang. Somebody showed me a picture of that and it kind of looks like they're, may have tried to pull one over on me for a $20 knife. BudK's made in India too, so I guess it ain't a real kukri, as I've been told. Now, some I haven't reviewed yet that I plan on it, the Cold Steel Kukri, courtesy of Santalin. Okay, he hasn't visited me yet. I had to buy it. This has a thin blade stock, think machete thin, and until I check it out, I would guess it's the weakest chopper. But since it only runs $20, that's like 2 shitty pizzas or 1 good one. And finally, the Kabar Kukri. I called this one the Ontario in the original script, but I had to go back and fix it. So here we are. I mean, Kabar, Ontario, what's really the difference? But I digress. It costs about $50. It's thicker than the Cold Steel, very comfortable handle, nice sheath. I haven't used it much though. Kabar had a half off sale and I paid about $35. So I got a good deal. Unless you come at it from the angle that I own about 6 of basically the same type of knife now. A man needs 6 kukris, doesn't he? I'll prove it to you. Let me ask my wife and my friends. If you want an authentic handmade kukri, ones made in Nepal like the Himalayan Imports are the best. I have seen Kalish, blades on Instagram, and those also look amazing. And if I play the long game and I keep liking their photos, maybe they'll send me a free one day. Or maybe I'll just get drunk one night, decide to buy one. I think the latter is more likely of the two. Like I said earlier, I prefer the water buffalo horn one more, but I may sand down the handle of the wooden one in case I decide to double fist them. Maybe I'll give one away on Instagram, I don't know. Not of course before I've whooped up on it a bit. One other thing I should mention is the edgy steel around the butt cap. Both blades when chopping, your palm tends to dig into the butt cap area, so you may want to wear gloves or do some sanding work on it. They're both not the most comfortable choppers I own for sure. So like the video, leave a comment, follow me on Instagram. Also download the Knife Nuts podcast, and thanks to Dave for the kukri and the beer. Hopefully I won't chop anything off, and if I do, well, he played the long game and got me to stop making videos. I'll link that shit in the description as well as links to buy this. Oh yeah, subscribe, click the bell. Thanks for watching.